Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Dyn video blog, done in conjunction with Circle ID and ICANN Wiki. And today I'm here with Mike Cyger. And Mike, you are the Domain Sherpa, is that right?
Well, I do run DomainSherpa.com, but I consider the people that come on the show that give back to others to be the true Sherpas, the people that help people.
Okay, so you're organizing the Sherpas. You're like the outfitter for the Sherpas.
Exactly, you could say that, or the tour guide, or yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Why did you come up with the name Sherpa?
Well, my CTO is from Nepal, and he has the tradition of Sherpas, and there are some great sites that use the word Sherpa in their name. And when I did research on it, I realized that those are the people that help you ascend, the mountain, really dangerous conditions. Only, tens of people have done it in the past, and they help you survive. And when I looked at the domain name industry, and the more I understood, it's a difficult industry. People have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure out how to become a successful domain name investor. And I bring on these Sherpas, and they guide others, give a little mug away to everybody that comes on the show that says, I'm a Sherpa, leading others to reach the peak, reach their peak. And so we help people ascend to the peak without dying, quote unquote, which is the worst that could happen on Kilimanjaro, let's say, in the domain name industry.
Oh, that's awesome. So the domain name Sherpa, which I can get to at DomainSherpa.com, right?
Correct.
Is primarily a video show. Can you tell me about the format of the show?
You bet. It's a video format. We do basically three types of shows right now. We do interviews with individuals, sometimes co-founders. We brought on the CEO of freelancer.com recently, and then we also brought on the product manager that just launched freemarket.com, which is a marketplace for domain names. So the network now of freelancers that has the opportunity to buy and sell domain names. So that's the type of one of the shows that we have that does interviews. And then we also do a Domain Sherpa review where we help individual investors understand the value of the portfolio that they're buying. So we review a small list of their domains, and usually Adam Dicker, Andrew Rosner, and Paige Howe will review what they like, what they dislike, what they would drop, what might be a trademark, and what actually has value that they might not know about.
Right.
Sometimes it's tough love, so it's kind of fun to watch.
I've seen this show, and
it's like a reality show for domain name investors. And then the third type of show is once a week, four Sherpas and I get together for a Domain Sherpa discussion. Adam Dicker, Paige Howe, Michael Berkins, and Rick Schwartz. And we talk about what's going on in the industry, what's happening in ICANN, what rights domain investors might be getting taken away that they should know about. And no holds are barred. Whatever's on the top of the Sherpa's mind, they say, whether it's a bad joke or a funny joke, or they like a company or they don't like a company, or they're moving their domains away, they let it all loose. And it's refreshing to see people talking openly about the industry so that we can all learn from their experience.
Yeah, that's great. Who would you say the target audience is? I mean, who should be watching your show?
So I built Domain Sherpa for two types of people. One, entrepreneurs, people that need to understand how the domain industry works so that they can build a better company. The fact that a car loan company in Australia doubled their revenue by getting a generic domain name, keyword that defines their industry, carloans.com.au. They doubled their revenue by just buying a domain name. That's a story that I want other entrepreneurs to know, because they may want to buy a brandable domain name, but it may actually make more business sense for them to pay more for traffic that comes to a keyword domain name. So entrepreneurs is first and foremost who I'm trying to reach, because new businesses are launched every day. Hundreds, thousands of new businesses are launched every week in the United States, and every business needs a brand and every brand needs a domain name. So that's who I'm targeting, and we cover everything from the life cycle of domain names, from new registrations, figuring out how you pick a domain name all the way to it expires, picking it up on the drops, going through escrow, UDRP, you name it. And then what I didn't realize is that I thought investors all knew how the industry worked, and I only came in a few years ago. And so I was not planning on them watching the show, but it turns out that investors love it because they get all the inside tips and tricks from well-known domain name investors. So right now it's about 50% entrepreneurs and 50% domain name investors who want to learn more.
That's interesting. I would not have necessarily made the distinction between investors and entrepreneurs, Is there a lot of overlap, or are they pretty distinct, would you say?
It's a good question. There's always talk about domain investors need to now start building businesses that generate revenue because parking has fallen off and maybe they're not getting enough inquiries. I separate them only from the, and yes, investors are entrepreneurs also, but when I use the word entrepreneur, I'm thinking about somebody that's trying to build a business. So maybe it's more appropriate for me to say business owners and then domain name investors are the two targets that I'm after. And they can overlap, but there aren't a lot of investors that have had big successes in building businesses as well.
Got it. Do you have a sense of how large your audience is?
Well, I would say that anybody that is interested in starting a business or growing their business needs a great brand and domain name. So I'm going after everybody in the world. I would love for the Small Business Administration to have DomainSherpa listed in the curriculum of every new business owner. And that's something that I'm working towards now that I have a significant amount of content to excerpt from and put together. So I look at it as every business owner needs to have an MBA, whether they go to a formal class or it's the School of Hard Knocks, they're learning it on the street, and one course in that MBA is domain names and how it can benefit your business. Right. So that's what I'm trying to build for them.
It should be like an MDA, like a Masters of Domain Administration. That's awesome. So does DomainSherpa take up all of your time, or how do you spend your day?
I spend about 50% of my day on DomainSherpa.
Got it.
Reading the news, following what people are doing, tracking sales, looking for great stories to help tell. And then my wife and I, in addition to DomainSherpa, we run a media company that serves about 1 million unique readers per month in a host of other topics, primarily B2B. We're the largest publisher on the Six Sigma process improvement methodology.
Oh, right. You got sixsigma.wiki, right? Is it?
I do have sixsigma.wiki.
I wasn't supposed to say anything. But you got it already, so you're good.
I did.
That's awesome. We got to talk about how to get that wiki set up, right?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, well, thank you so much. That was very insightful. And if anyone wants to watch the show, it's DomainSherpa.com.
That's right.
Leading the way to peak performance.
Helping others reach their peak.
Helping others reach their peak, exactly. Michael Cyger.